praise break comes from 13 years ago in June this month. A young man by the name of Grayson Clamp, 3-year old, who was born without the ability to hear. And so, through the miracle of God through science, um, because we got to know that God is the one who allows us to be able to have these innovations and the ability to do what we do in science. And I know some people think it's them, but no, God is the one that gives the abilities. And so, through the miracle of God through science, was Grayson was allowed to be able to hear again by a type of STEM device that was implanted in his brain that went to his head, to his ear, and allowed him to hear. And the great thing about that, and I know Joe can probably fit it in here for our praise break moment, the video, is his astoundment when he hears his father's voice for the first time. Yeah.
Grayson.
You see that toddler's face just light up as he hears his father's voice for the first time. Grayson was born without auditory nerves, so he hasn't been able to use external hearing aids. The device he now uses was only implanted in adults, but recently the FDA approved it for children. Grayson became the first child in the country to undergo the procedure.
Talk to him, Daddy.
Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. Daddy.
Oh yeah, that is just too precious. What a wonderful moment to experience with that family.
And I began to think about his expression and think about us when we hear our Father's voice after we've prayed for something for so long. And God, you can hear his answer. That ought to shout anybody. Is when I think about my life and think about the many times I've prayed to him. And it went without, sometimes long times where you don't hear from him, long times where you don't get the answer that you want, long times of praying and long times of waiting patiently for God to do something. But when you finally hear Daddy, oh my goodness, and he answers you and he delivers you and he moves you from the location that you were to the new location that you wanted to be in, there ought to be a wonder and amazement at hearing our Father's voice, not just in prayer, but every time we hear from him. We ought to have that wonder and that amazement of hearing Daddy in the same manner that Grayson did to hear his father for the first time. And I thought about that thing and that shouted me. So I pray that you take that into this week as a praise break moment. It's good to hear Daddy's voice.